being told, like, how fat my ass was.
Welcome to Music Memory Mondays. Tonight's special guest is Kaya Jones, formerly of the Pussycat Dolls. And we're going to talk a lot about music, the history, back in the day. Man, she got a lot of secrets she's going to share with y'all. A lot of insight, a lot of good stuff. So anyway, without further ado, let's get right into it, all right? Y'all ready? Here we go. Let's do it. We're just talking story, right? So just talk a little bit about kind of, you don't have to throw anybody under the bus, but when I first met you, you know, you were in the Pussycat Dolls. And
Yes.
And I know that was quite an experience.
Yes.
Keep it real, kind of like.
Keep it real?
Yeah, keep it 100.
No, I mean, you know, that was something I was so looking forward to because I looked up to the Spice Girls, you know. As a little girl, I was like, I want to be a Spice Girl, you know. So I thought that was so cool. Like, I go to this audition, and I went and got, you know, to be a part of what I thought was going to be this, like, massive girl troupe, you know, taking over the music industry, and every girl could connect to somebody. And it, you know, for a minute, it was fun, and it was cool, and what we were doing was impactful, and then everything then shifted. So that situation in me was kind of gnarly because I was, like, thrown into a situation where I've got to now work with all these other women. They don't like you right away. Me and Nicole were very close right away. And I feel wholeheartedly that they kept us kind of separated because it's easy to, like, separate people and then you combat each other instead of being a fist and then you can, you know, strike a mighty blow. They kind of kept us separated in certain areas, treated differently, of course, but the way that, you know, the puppet strings were with the owner of the group, with Robin, and I called her out on it multiple times because I felt that, like, we were doing everything for something we had no ownership in. You know, she owned it, we didn't. We were constantly told what to eat, who to speak. Not everyone could speak. You know, and that's the thing is, and don't feel like I'm throwing Robin under a bus because anyone who's worked with her knows how difficult this woman is. And that created so much insecurities within the women. This is the kind of stuff that, like, is not normal. And it's very damaging on young women mentally. Yeah. Especially when you're very young.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy, Kai, not to cut you off, but you just sparked something. And I remember around that time, I had worked with you guys, but also I was working with Jessica Simpson, and she always battled her with Wade as well. And I remember the president of Columbia at the time had told her, you know, you have to lose 25 pounds, and at that point she was rail thin. I remember she was like 110 pounds wet, you know, and she was like freaking out. I remember feeling really bad because here I am, a plump, fat music producer who, on my side of the table, the fatter you got, the more successful you looked, you know. So me, Rodney Jerkins, and Rockwilder, and all my boys, we were battling. Tim, we were getting bigger as you guys were getting smaller because the part of being a young lady in the music business, the sex symbol thing, you know, I think that was the issue too, was it turned more into less about the voice and the talent and more about the look. You know, we had more supermodels coming through that couldn't sing, right? You know, I'm telling the truth. And let's goo gobs some money. So I lied to everybody. You sound great. You know, I'm like,
yeah, you're great.
Man, look, I was getting that $75,000 check and the Ferrari was paid for. Listen, and I'm not naming any names, but there were a few that I was like, are you kidding me? This girl has a $3 million budget. And me and Dave Pensado are eating up about $100,000 in steaks and food and everything else. And Dave would make them sound amazing. And I would sit there and be like, yes, yes, yes. And then the thing is the marketing and the promotion money that was put behind these artists would force the public to like them.
That you're guaranteed. Like, there's no question mark on where you're going to go.
Right. You pay enough money to where someone listens to your song 800,000 times a day on the radio. You start liking it. It's just a fact. It's like psychology. And I remember I remember when I started getting all these #1 records and all this stuff, and I was sitting there going, there's no way this song is going to hit. And then boom, it was huge. And I was like, are you kidding me? Wow. You know, and me being critical and coming from a real singing family, hello,
yes.
Embarrassed to play stuff for my mom and Whitney and everybody.
That's why I think, Steve.
Yeah.
That's why I think everything that took place worked out the way it did. When I even think how we bonded, and we're now making music.
Yeah.
I didn't come from, first of all, most of my family was either medical or legal family, and my mother was the oddball who was, you know, a graphic designer. She was an artist and studied under Picasso when she was 14. But they were all very well-equipped, smart people. I was raised by, counteracted with. I started in music, you know, worked with R. Kelly. No, he never did anything inappropriate with me at all. Never saw anything inappropriate. In fact, he was like a drill sergeant.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So when
I heard that about him.
When I heard about all this stuff with him, my jaw was on the floor because I'm like, 2 years I'm signed to someone and I never saw anything. Come on. Like, I didn't. I genuinely didn't. And I'm not someone to lie about that stuff because I did then experience it in the Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah.
And for me, you know, which is why with you, it also didn't fly. When you come from a family of like really talented people, your father was very talented, your mother exceedingly talented. Yeah. Her cousin, tremendously talented. You have all these people that really have tangible stuff. They were given a gift. Yeah. You can't then be okay with the wishy-washy stuff or the unethical stuff. Because you're kind of just like, no, like, that's not what, you got something good in you. Trust me, there's talent or a gift that you have, but this ain't it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or this isn't okay. Yeah. And I think that's the thing is, like, you came from a very well-known musical family. So for you, that definitely could only fly so long before you're like, what am I doing? Yeah. For me, it was straight away, you know, and I was excited about being in the Pussycat Dolls. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Yeah. But there were multiple things happening. You have all of us not making any money. The owner is. You have the conditioning of the mental breakdown of control, right? Which was put you down, make you think you're not enough, the constant head games. And then by the time then executives and people think it's okay to do certain things to you because you're going to be okay with it because your girl's doing it too, you start to realize that, like, how am I winning? Yeah. So, like, where am I winning? Okay, I'm going to be famous. Yeah. Okay, awesome.
Well, hold on. But let me stop you there. But that's the thing, Kai. But Kai, that's the thing. A lot of the girls did it because they knew they were going to make it and be famous and have the opportunity. And I'm not taking up for the executives, but there's also a flip side to the coin because I saw that too. I saw a lot of girls in the studio who would do anything to be in the Pussycat Dolls. When you guys had the song Don't Ya and you had those other hits, there were girls who were like, oh my God, you're putting together a girl group? Like with Destiny's Child. I remember when Matthew had more members in Destiny's Child than the LA Lakers combined, right? I mean, so funny. Right? You know, they were switching members like I changed my socks. But I remember when everybody knew I was working with Beyonce, and there would be girls just down the corner, up the corner, around the corner, you know, who would literally were like, oh, you know Beyonce? Oh, you know.
What's so funny? Yeah. And it's true, is when I went home, because at the time I was with Nick Carter. Right. When I would go home and tell him about all of this. Yeah. And I'm thinking, because I'm watching how their group is run, which was like a tight ship. Oh, yeah. That was like a legit group.
Yeah, Backstreet was no joke. That group was run.
They were a legit group. Now, as far as, you know.
Well, they had their issues too. I know Nick pretty well. I hope to have him on the show, just talk some real story about what Backstreet went through as well, because, you know, they had some problems with Lou Pearlman and you know, and being boys. Yeah, and being boys, they went through a very similar thing that you did. Yes. You know.
But I think it's conditioning, and that's what I was going to touch on. It's so funny that you brought up Lou Pearlman. Yeah. Yes. it was atrocious what that man did.
I'm just pulled up Imagine. I want to listen to just a piece of it real quick while I got you on. This song is so appropriate for what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Let me play a piece of it just so we can get in this vibe. Hold on.
Yeah. It's no man, it's symbolical, Bible boy. And I stand here in the presence of my Lord Jesus Christ, my Savior. I couldn't imagine life without you.
I can't imagine a world without your love.
Unconditional love.
I can't imagine the thought of someone else.
Nobody's love can stand up to Jesus.
Every time I'm with you, the world just disappears.
Fills up my spirit.
So I can't imagine a world without you here. The world's so cold, the world comes down on me. The world's so cruel, people hate most everything.
Hating for no reason.
Can we learn to forgive as we learn to forget in search of something true?
Get in the word, y'all.
Can't imagine a world without you.
I love you, God. I love you, Jesus.
You gonna kill it with this one.
Now that I look back at everything, I think God really, because it's so weird that, but it's not oddly, it's godly, and I get emotional just even thinking about it. I prayed when I was 6 years old. I saw Whitney Houston sing, at the 1991 Super Bowl. And I remember, like everybody else who saw that was just like, wow. But
Yeah.
that night, and that was the first moment I knew I had to sing. And I went to the foot of my bed and I prayed. And I said, God, please, one day will you give me a voice like Whitney Houston?
Do you remember this, Kai? I found something. It said I typed in Kaya Jones Pussycat Dolls, and I just it's wild because hold on. Let me listen to what this is. I think this was a performance at one of your at an award show. I think. Let's see. What is it? It's
The Pussycat Dolls.
Sometimes I feel I've got to run away. I've got to get away from the pain you drove into the heart of me. The love we share seems to go.
Do you remember that performance?
Yes.
Well, listen. Look.
I remember it well.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember it really well because
Wow.
I believe, is that Bastion Rocks or is that's Divas Live?
Oh my God! Yeah, you're right. Divas Live. Yep.
Divas Live. Divas Live was the moment I knew I couldn't stay in that group because,
Wow. Wow.
I knew, like, that was the moment. It's the biggest moment at that point of our career. In that pinnacle moment, we were like now launching into orbit, and we're a part of like incredible names. And and the internal abuse and all of the above, and I don't feel good.
Yep.
I'm having to push off an executive the back of a limo.
Yep.
I'm constantly put in positions of being at men's homes and I can't get home in the middle of the night. And, you know, and of course, everyone's taking the bait. Why don't you take the bait? And it's like, oh, because I'm a singer, guys. Because, like, I actually just want to sing.
Yeah.
Like, that's all that really I care about doing. Morning, noon, and night. I want to sing. I want to perform. I just want to sing.
Yeah.
And and everyone I talk to, every person I talk to, and I said, especially after I left, people would say, oh, look at them everywhere. Like, don't you feel stupid that you left and you laid down music and you don't get any credit? you know, you were part of creating that and all of this. And I just kind of was like, wow, so you guys don't even understand. Like, what would it take? I almost feel like saying, instead of telling my story, I almost feel like posing a question. What would it take for a 21-year-old to walk away from a $13 million contract and the opportunity of a lifetime to be in one of the biggest girl groups of all time? How bad would it have to be? And if you can then conceive of how bad, then you would have your answer.
Listen, we've been talking for 48 minutes, and I know we get long-winded. Like, I love this. What I love about this, Kai, is we just can literally talk story, get, you know, just really express.
Oh my God, you have so many more stories.
Oh, you kidding me?
That's the thing too. It's like, I think when I look at like your mom, and you know, and your mom she's someone that I wish she could do seminars of like telling artists of like how to be, because she really comes from a time where artists were regal.
Oh yeah.
They were right. They were like regal. They were like royal.
Yeah.
They were like very like. They didn't get involved in too much crazy. They tried to keep their stuff together. They went through crazy. They never talked about it. They kept above the fray.
Yeah, exactly.
And your mom is like a testament to so much, and I think that's where you get a lot of your strength from.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Yeah, it is absolutely. I mean, I am the mama's boy, as everybody who knows me knows that. I am the mommy's boy. What I want to do is I want to play a little bit of another one of our singles from the EP, "Report to the Floor." Can I play a little bit of that and then we'll get on out of here? But hold on, let me give you a little taste, or you can give me a little taste of "Report to the Floor."
This is Nomad, the symbolical Bible boy. You got problems? Situations? Simply step into your purpose and find the truth. Purpose is inside of each and every one of us. All you gotta do is wake up, and victory is yours. So now come on down to the floor. Let's go! All you troubled people, yes, all you shattered people, yes, all you broken people, report to the floor. You troubled people, yes, all you shattered people, yes, all you broken people, report to the floor.
All you broken people, come to the floor. Fill your cup, drink it up, get some more. Roll and spin and let the spirit take control. Get your groove on. Ready, set, go. Are you ready?
Praise him, 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 praise him. Put your hands up. Report to the floor now. Everybody let your face show now. Feel the Holy Spirit in you moving. Pop your chest like you know what you're doing. All of your fears, let them all go. On your knees, pray for some hope. Close your eyes, let the Spirit
Deliverance in your soul. All right, Kaya, listen, thank you so much for joining me, talking story. Oh, we got to drop it. Let's go. We're going to drop the EP. Listen, the EP will be coming soon, okay? I'm promising y'all, Kaya and I are going to drop an EP. It is something amazing. It's fire. I love you, Kaya. I will talk to you soon. You stay safe. And then I'll talk to you. You know, we'll get the artwork and we'll get all that stuff flowing, okay?
Let's do it.
All right. Okay. I'll talk to you later.
Later.
Bye. There you go. That's about as real as it gets. You know, Music Memory Mondays is turning into something really special because I get to talk to a lot of my old friends and reminisce. And I don't know how I'm going to cut all of this down, but I'll figure it out. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Peace.